Is it? Oh. Hey, family. Okay, you can hide the live video. Okay. I'm learning. Hey, family, how you guys are doing? Your girl is here. She just came back home, well dressed. So I'm about to go do some stuff. So good morning to one and all. Good morning. Good morning to you. It's still morning. No, it's not morning, Lord. What's with this girl? It's not even morning and this girl sing good morning to you. Hey, hey, I'm telling you. Look, so your girl feel like she want to dress like this morning. So she decided to put this on and her pants and whatever and to dress up. She does feel like she want to put on something nice this morning. How are you guys doing? Greetings to one and all. Now they put the option for my phone. Me can attack and me have the camera on this one. So you can say, hey everybody, what's going on? What's going on? Your queen is here. So I have the option now on this phone. It wasn't on there before, but I just saw it on this phone where now I have the option of sitting in the background talking and you just watch a picture of me. Ain't that beautiful? You know what I mean? So that is nice, right? I just got it on this phone. I have it on the other phone, but it wasn't on this phone. So how is everybody doing? We said time show up and show out for yourself, right? So that's what we want to encourage. Empress Jean, greetings. Thank you for being the number one top fan for today. Congratulations. How is everybody doing? You know what I mean? So we talk from the other day. I wanted to do this video, and it would no matter what I did, it just stuck in the box. So I had to delete all those live that I was trying to do. Then when you go to actually this one that I just opened back, I was gonna do it a while back but didn't get a chance to do it. So hope everybody is doing good. Your queen looking beautiful today. She looking nice and refined. Hey Queen, you look so refined, you look so nice, you look so nice, you look so refined. So we want to encourage, I want to encourage everyone to say that, listen, man, you gotta show up and show out for yourself and don't watch no face. Because when you show up and show out for yourself, people will also do the same. All right. So that's the message for today. How you show up and how you show out. People will show out for you, you know what I mean? And that's why we have to say big up to every single person. The likers, the sharers, the commenters, the well wishers, the people who just chilling in the back and say, oh my God, you again. But they know that you're showing up and you're showing out for yourself. And they say, you know what? Which direction should I turn? And they know which direction to turn. Either they want to just chill or just put you down, go out there about their daily business and watch in the background or whatever they gotta do. Cause you know people busy out here, but you still show up. You know what I mean? Still show up for yourself. You know what I mean? If you know that this is what you want to do in life, you gotta show up even at a job. If you don't show up for yourself, nobody at the job ain't gonna show up for you either. You know what I mean? And you won't get a paycheck either if you don't show up at a job. So I'm saying, so if so I'm just tying this into everyday life and whatever you're doing, what is your purpose, what is your niche, anything we're doing. If we don't show up for ourselves, nobody will show up for us. And take a job, for example, that you're going for a 9 to 5. If you don't go to the job, you don't get paid, right? That means if you don't show up, you don't get a paycheck, right? So somebody that say, I never thought of it that way. But it's actually true. If you don't show up at that job, you won't have a paycheck showing up in your account, or you won't have a paycheck mailing to you, or you won't have no cashier, whatever they pay, whatever means or mode they pay you by, whether through cash app or whatever you said you set up, or automatic, whatever, to get your money. You know what I mean? So if you don't show up, then you don't have a paycheck. You see what I'm saying? So even in the YouTube world, I want everybody to feel encouraged to say, if you don't show up for you, it's like missing out on what needs to be out there for you, you know. So just think of it like, take it into everyday life. If you don't show up at a job, then you miss out on a paycheck, right? Because you don't show up, you don't get paid, right? But you show up, the likelihood of you might not make a whole lot of money, because some people work on commission too. And when you work on commission, you only get paid when you have clients or customers or so. So you have to bear that in mind. So if you don't show up and to market yourself and to do the best you can, because mind you, we are not, all of us are not tech savvy. You know what I mean? But show up the way you can. You know what I mean? Worry less about the things. When sooner or later, when things are going for you, you can always pay somebody to help you out, to help you with the tech savvy, the tech part. You know what I mean? Of what you need to work on and all these things. And sometimes all it takes, sometimes it's just the time. You know what I mean? So show up for yourself, people. So good afternoon to each and every one. This is your resilient queen, your crazy queen, your all-in-one queen. She's like a whole package that just roll all over the place sometimes. You know, roller coaster queen. But I want everybody to understand, showing up for yourself is very important. Just tie it into everyday life. You don't show up at a job, don't got a paycheck coming your way. You don't show up, then no check ain't gonna show up for you. No direct deposit ain't gonna show up for you. You gonna see your account and it's a negative. You see what I'm saying? So showing up for yourself, you never know. Keep going. One day, the more you show up, one day, the world, you will reap what you sow one of these days. You know what I mean? Because you're showing up. And everything have to build over time. You know, build over time. Keep adding up. You know what I mean? So show up for yourself, family. Because if we don't, it's like you lose a job. You're not doing nothing. You think that account is still gonna be showing up for you? Like money gonna be generating up in that account? No, no. What's gonna happen with that account is that it's gonna be decreasing, decreasing, decreasing. Same way when we don't show up for ourselves. What's going to happen? Everything that we start off was good, and even though if it was a 5 star, but it was good, what I mean, in your eyes and opinion. But you fall somewhere down the line and forgot to show up for yourself because you're saying, oh, nobody's showing up for me. But I guarantee you, if you continually being persistent, being perseverance, being the person you are, same way, regardless of the roller coaster that's gonna come your way, I guarantee you that you're gonna see people showing up. You know what I mean? And just roll with what you gotta roll with. You know what I mean? Every day ain't gonna be no sunshine. Some days you're gonna have rain. Some days you're gonna have snow. Some days you're gonna have the weather. You drink off all your water, but you still show up, right? Don't you? Sometimes you run out of water and you don't drink the faucet water, but you run out and you might not have nobody to take you to the store to go grab you another case of water right away. But you still have to show up some other ways for yourself by keeping one of those empty bottles and do one of the faucet water for a moment, freeze it, boil it, whatever you gotta do to get the bacteria out or so, but you're still showing up for yourself, right? You just show different ways in which you can show up for yourself, you know? And even when we out here now, remember, if you don't show up, you don't have a paycheck. Nowhere. Nowhere. Anything we want to aspire to be in life, if we don't show up for it, we don't have a paycheck. You know? But we keep going. Even if for 2 hours you call in for it to go to a job and you show up for that 2 hour. It's $2 that you didn't have in your pocket. You get. It's 2 cents that you didn't have in your pocket. You just claim right there. You see what I'm saying? So even though we're looking at, oh, nothing not going on, something is going on, but it might not be as big as how you'd want it, as how you anticipate it to be. But guess what? Over time, things will automatically generate the more consistent you are and the more you determine to work on progress. Progress is something that's not just happen boom right there, but show up for yourself, man. And you have several different ways to show up for yourself. Like on YouTube, 2 shorts, 2 videos, 2 long form. Showing up for yourself. Show what you're doing. Show what you likes to do. If you're a person who like to chat like resilient queen, and you can chat about different things, if you're versatile in different areas, you don't have to be quote unquote go to school to be versatile in a lot of stuff, because a lot of us learn from people throughout the years of our life, coming up from different walks of life. You see how people do different things. You've been in jobs where you have mixed diverse background of people sharing how they do things also, and you can also learn from them that particular way, and then you can put that into what you already know, which is your existing schema, and then apply that to what you already know, and go out there and just shine. Show up. Show them that, hey, I'm doing this. It might not be as like how you do your thing, but I'm doing this that my way. You know what I mean? It's like somebody who takes somebody's song and singing it on American Idol, and they're showing up for themselves with their own voice. They're not showing up with the person who wrote the song or sing the song. They're showing up there with their authentic self to sing that song like it was their own. You know what I mean? Even though it's not their own, but you, when you say you love something or you have a passion for something, or you think you can reach a multi, you just gotta show up. You know what I mean? Over time, people will start to show up for you. You know what I mean? It's like over time, your paycheck will come. When you just start a job, for instance, and you show up at that job, you don't get paid right there and then. Some jobs do, depending on the kind of job. If they do a pay as you go method, you know what I mean? And it depends on that job. Like pay as you go, like DoorDash, so if you want, you can get to pay the same day. So you can have those jobs with the option of pay as you go. So if you work today, you want to take that money out and just bank it into your account, you can do that right there and then. Or you could wait till the week, or your week, you get a weekly paycheck or so. You leave it there, and then when the week come now, you just roll it out. You know what I mean? So you can either do pay as you go, or you just do it weekly or whatever. So you see, we have option to show up in many different ways for ourselves. Sometimes we have to do the pay as you go day, because guess what? You're running out of gas. So you need some gas, and you didn't have no cash at hand. You didn't have no, maybe a credit card to kind of help slid the, fill in the gap for you or so, but you're still showing up in different ways. You're still showing that, hey, I could show up here and I could show up there. You know what I mean? Have options out there where you can show up for yourself. You know what I mean? It's like today I can show up for myself dressed up. Tomorrow I can show up looking raggedy. Tomorrow I can show up cooking. Tomorrow I can show up just being viscerous, humongous, or, like, acting weird, acting like a weirdo or something. But it's what's going on sometimes. You know what I mean? And you feel compelled to talk about this thing, but you're showing up. It's showing up. You're being versatile. You know what I mean? But if you don't show up, you don't have no paycheck. You get a job and everybody know who we have in a job. If you don't show up at the job, tell me how many paycheck you have coming up when you don't show up at that job. You lose your job and you're not doing anything. Tell me how much money you have left in that account. When I mean tell me how much. Tell me if that account keep going up or is it declining, because you're going that's what you're gonna have to look at now. You like your rainy day funds. Now that is what you have to show up for. Yeah, your rainy day fund you're gonna have to go into. But guess what? You made preparation by showing up, go out and work and put something aside and say, okay, when rainy day hit you hard, or when times hit you hard, not rainy day, when times hit you hard, now you have something to pick back on. Now you have something to use. You know what I'm saying? So show up for yourself however way you can show up. You know what I mean? You can inspire so many people in this world. If every one person will be inspired by your way of life. Sometimes we're looking for the multitude to be inspired by us, but all it takes in this world to make a difference is one person at a time, one get person at a time. You know, that's all it takes. You don't take a whole bunch of people to say, oh, if a bunch of people not showing up, I'm not showing up. You show up. You never know when you're going to have a bunch of people flock you. You don't know when you're going to have a bunch of people see what you're doing and say, whoa, I'm interested. But you got to show up. As I was saying, that when you just get a job, you don't get a paycheck right away. Most jobs you don't get a paycheck right away. Sometimes it could be bi-weekly, sometimes it's weekly, sometimes it's a month. Like even on YouTube now they pay monthly. So you get one check per month. And it might be the check from the other month or so forth, depending on how things gonna go. You see what I'm saying? So however we are showing up, we still gotta show up and be mindful of the things we want in life and be grateful for the things that are coming. Little things sooner or later will turn out into big things. We gotta show up. And showing up doesn't mean we have to show up 7 days a week. You have to create what is best for you. If you think showing up every day is best for you, that have to be with you. If you think showing up 2 to 3 times a week is best for you, that will have to be with you. Or you can consult with your community and ask them, hey, I know I was showing up so often to get my watch time, or get my watch hours, or get my subscriber count up, or all these things. And when you get your 1,000 or your 4,000 or whatever, you can always put out a post out there. Somebody will reply. Sometimes they're not replying, but that's fine. But if they love you the way you show up, they will appreciate you. You know what I mean? But if you don't want to show up every day, if you kind of be just keep going like that, and you want to bring more, what they call it, a better content or something, then show up the best way you can. If you say, all right, then I'm gonna cut back and just show maybe 2 3 times for the week, so that way you will now be able to schedule what you're doing, so that you don't have to be draining yourself every day to just show up every day. No one size fit all. So if you have to schedule what you're doing, do it. Everybody keckle ain't the same keckle. You know what I mean? You might drink coffee, I don't drink coffee. You see what I'm saying? I do drink coffee, but I'm just using it to say, you might drink coffee, I might not. You might drink coffee with milk, I might not drink it with milk. You might drink it with sugar, I might not drink it with sugar. I might drink it with Splendor or whatever else out there on the market. You see what I'm saying? So, to each its own, but just show up for you. You don't have to show up 7 days a week. You don't have to say, oh, but Resilient Queen show up 7 days a week. That's Resilient Queen. You have to tell yourself, study other market out there and see how other people show up, and then learn from them. 'Cause that's how studies shown. When people study, say, oh, but this person show up 3 times per week, and it was better for this person as opposed to when they show up 7 days a week. You see what I mean? And it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress. Everything we're going to do is being a work in progress. But no showing up, no checks. No showing up, declining your account, because if you don't have no get a paycheck, the liquor that you save, if you're not using it to pay your bills, then you're gonna be out the door and the money gonna be in your account, and you're still gonna run up a lot of bills. So you might as well you just do what you gotta do. You know, the Lord will make a way. Yeah, but He wants us to work. You know what I mean? So show up for yourself, man. Show up and show out. And when you say show out, if you have something that you have a lot of people that are very good at showing people how things work, how this need to be done. Also because they gain experience from their downfall and they share it with others so beautifully. They put it together so people can understand. Not everybody cut like that, but you have people who are very good at what they're doing. So you can go and you check out those people and see. I've seen a lot of YouTubers that I learned a thing or two from. You know what I mean? But show up. Look at others content, people content. Look at how other people are doing their stuff and say, all right, then how can I do mine? Because that's how you're going to gain ideas. Sometimes somebody will be talking right now. It don't have to be me. And you're watching somebody else's platform or so, and you hear them talking about something, and you're like, what? I didn't know I could use in Vivid IQ. I didn't know I could use, do they call it, two body. I didn't know I could use what they call it, like CapCut and all these things are in shot. They have so many different apps out there. But if you want a better way of living, if you have money, then you can step up your game or not. But if you don't have money, just do it the best way you can. Still show up. Show up the best way you can. People out here ain't fool. They understand. Because they probably say, hey, you see, if Resilient Queen to do better, you seem like she would have known how to do better. And then sometimes it's all about the right mindset too. Sometimes you worried about the wrong thing. Our mindset gotta be in line with what we're doing. You know what I mean? Show up, man. Even when you're at your best, it's not only when you're at your best you're supposed to show up. When you're at your worst, you can still show up. But if you don't want to stay long, like when you're at your best, you don't say, hey, so and so. You know what I mean? You gotta challenge yourself. When you're at your best, you're good again. You say, where were we? We're back on track. Okay, what are we going to do today? You know what I mean? So and so. Or some people say, hey, let's catch up. Let's have a chit chat. The people who say, let's catch up, let's have a chit chat, it's because they probably do like maybe 2 to 3 times a week. You understand? So they have to play catch up for the days that they weren't live. So they have to tell you, hey, behind the scene, especially if they do a live. If they do a video, then most people will tie in everything they do for those days when they're not going to post. Compile it together into one. So they will say, okay, on Monday we did this, on Tuesday we did it, and they compile it together. Or either say they merge them together. And then they create a premiere, and then people watch the premiere and see what they're doing. You know what I mean? For the days they didn't show up, because they know that they only stick to 2 3 days a week to show up. And you have some people that it work for them where they show up every day. But I'm here to say, man, just show up and show out for yourself. Not only when things are good, you're gonna show out. But even when things are rocky, same way. It's like you have a cold and you say, I didn't plan to come here today, but you're gonna come on. You're not gonna stay long, but you want to talk to your people. You know that the people that you come to know are so. Whether it's people coming in, people going out, you know, you don't know who you're talking to every day. You know what I mean? But you come in to show up, and people will show up for you. They will show up for you. And one of the things I want to tie into show up and show out is that you gotta also remember, even in business outside of when you're looking at YouTube, you have private and you have public. The public people are the people who want to be known, want to be recognized, meaning that you will see their names in the comment section here, like you have Empress Jean here, big shout out to you, and you will see them in the comment section also. And then you have the people who are private now, who just want to lay back in the background. They will watch you, or so they will give you a like if they're interested in what you're talking about, and even if they're not interested, they just want to chill and they support you by the view section. You know what I mean? Where they come in and they just view your content. Sometimes they don't linger around. Sometimes they don't tarry because they might not interested in what you're talking about. But the mere fact that they click on you, they're checking you out. You know what I mean? And they might say, you know what? I'll just go watch a replay because she chatting too much. She need to get to the point because her point too long. You know, because sometimes we do take long to get to the point. Not everybody is like that. You know what I mean? Not everybody built to beat around the bush. You know what I mean? But you gotta remember about your private and public people. Just like your private sector, your public sector. One will announce their profit, and one is just in the background of how they do things. You know what I mean? The profit that they're making is in the back of their head. Not to mention that's their goal to make a profit, like charity, even charity organization also. But that's not their main focus. Their main focus is to help people. Their main focus is to see a need and try to fill that gap or fill that void that is happening in today's world or in today's society. You know what I mean? So, and then you have private school, you have public school where everybody and anybody can go to a public school if they want to. And you have private school like you calling, you know, like you people them in the private school section, just sit down in the back and I relax and nice and easy and say, you know what, I don't want to go to no public school today because I don't want to hear resilient mouth. She talk too much. I just want to sit in the back and chill. You know what I mean? So we're trying to tighten in this way, but you know, it's a little bit different when you talk about private school and public school, and when you talk about the public sector and the private sector out there in business world aspect. You know what I mean? But we just like kind of give a little example there to kind of narrow it down to this. So sometimes you will say that, but I see like this, that, but I don't see anybody saying hello to me. Not everybody want to communicate with you all the time. Sometimes people just want to relax. But the mere fact you show up, they show up for you too. You understand? They gonna show up for you. It's not about, you know, a lot of things we worried about who stick. Sometimes it's not about who stick. How many person tired of people after 2 weeks at their house? They stick around too long, you're tired of them. Sometimes you don't mind if they go and come. But when they just stick like a glue on the wall, or it's like you eat bubblegum and you forgot that you had stick it somewhere, and the bubblegum stick on your shirt and you can't get it off. How frustrating that is. Very frustrating. So you know you want people to spread their wings, widen their horizon. You know what I mean? That's why they tell you. Even you traveling anywhere, they said people will host you for 2 weeks. And a lot of places tell you 2 weeks. They will host you for 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, it's like, you know, people. Some people don't mind company, but some people like their space. Even for 2 weeks, some people say that is too long, especially if you're a person who like to invade people's space and don't have no limit, no boundaries. You know, you don't know not to cross here or not to cross. You know what I mean? So just look at life and show up the best way you can and do what you gotta do. You don't show up, no paycheck. You know what I mean? You don't show up, you ain't going. If you say you're working on watch time, we can talk about you too now. You say you're working on watch time. If you don't show up, then that day you miss out on 0.64 watch time. Like what I talked about the first time. You see what I'm saying? You don't show up, you miss out on 0.64 watch time or 0.44 watch time. You see what I'm saying? You don't show up, you miss out on 1 minute of watch time. You don't show up, you're missing out on maybe 10 minutes of watch time, maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes, however many somebody willing to give you the time. You see what I'm saying? But once you show up, if it was 0.64 watch time you get, you showed up and you make that happen. You see what I'm saying? So even though you look at it and you say like, man, 0.64, but it's what it is though. It's a part of you, right? You showed up. I remember every day ain't gonna be the same. You see what I'm saying? So even though when we aspire to say, oh, it no matter how well executed you are, how well poised you are, how well cemented you are, how well grounded you are, if you don't show up, you could be grounded all you want, like the current when they say the ground oil, you could be grounded all you want. You could be as powerful as you want. But if you don't show up, nobody will know how powerful you are. If you don't show up, nobody will know to help contribute to giving you a paycheck. You don't show up at the job, you ain't get no paycheck. Any job you're gonna take on, even having a car and say we can do DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, Hub, and all these apps. These are not promotional video, I'm just saying. All because I'm showing how to show up for yourself. And if you say you have all these apps and everything, but you don't show up 2, 3 days to go driving and do what you gotta do, tell me how many paychecks somebody just gonna give you like that. Who gonna just give you a paycheck like that? You don't show up, you're not working to earn that. So how they gonna give it to you? But when you show up, people see that, hey, this girl is showing up. You know what I mean? You're showing up. You might not show up as often as you want it because you have what they call it in Jamaica, hill and gully ride. Oh, but that's okay. Show up. You can't say you want to watch time and you're not showing up. Listen, I promise you, if you show up for yourself every day, you don't even one time you need to talk. You don't even have to talk 3, 4 times to tell people about watch time. Big up yourself, resilient queen. Bless up yourself up movement TV. Walk on my brother, walk go down. You know what I mean? You don't have to tell people 365 days of the year you need watch time. Once you show up and you already announce that, hey, all these 0.64 watch time I'm seeing. Come on, people, do look better for me. You know what I mean? You talk to your people, you talk to your fans, okay? You say you have fans and them a stick by you like bubble gum or what they call it, Velcro. Then talk to them. And them are going to show up for you, you talk to them. You say you're there, my friend. Yeah, man. When they tell people to show up and show out, man. You know what I mean? Each up in the background, when we mean each up in the background, we not talk people in the back, we're talking in real life, say, you're not post nothing, and you're not this, and you're not that. I expect people to show up. Nobody can read your mind. Show up. If you don't feel good, you can come on and say, hey, not really feel good in a family, so I'm only going to spend like 2 minutes on here. And so, yes, man, that is it, man. You got to show up, man. You know, many times we want people to show up for us, but if we're not showing up and we're not showing no level of consistency, you're not showing no level of, you don't have to put white squall in your mouth to say you're hungry. You know, you don't have to do all of that. Just show up. People can tell when you come on live and say, oh, Resilient Queen not having a good day today. They know you don't have to announce. Even if you announce that some people is good at spotting when somebody not their best self. Some people ain't no fool. You see what I'm saying? But the mere fact they see you showed up, they want to say, okay, what's going on? Some of them will ask a question, and if you're a spicy person, they might not want to ask you a question. They will wait for you to say what's going on with you. You know what I mean? Sometimes they will say whatever it is, just take it easy, my brother, take it easy, my sister. But showing up for yourself. Just remember this in the back of your head. If you don't show up at any job, whether you're going to do that Uber Eats, Grub, or whatever, YouTube or anything, and you're going to make it a job, don't show up and you say if that paycheck is coming here because somebody going to just put it in there for you. Okay? You're going to get a check by the end of the month, okay? Say you didn't show up, so here's a check for did not show. I did not show up, so this is a check. You didn't show up at your job or anything, not even for 2, 3 hours. You say spread positive vibe. Yes, man. Yes, man. You have to show up. And that's how you're going to get the positive vibe because sometimes you can show up and you don't feel well. But the burst of energy, the love that people pour into you, and so to cheer you up, as the songwriter said, cheer up my brother, cheer up my sister, will understand. If you don't cheer up yourself, if you don't come out and show out, you're not going to have nobody to cheer you up. How many people sick are in the house? And you don't show up for yourself like get it trying to get ready to go to the doctor. And as soon as you go to the doctor, you show up at the doctor, right? And as soon as you get to the hospital, all the way you are feeling going through the door. Out the door, you feel like, what kind of spell is this? As you in the house, your knees start wobbling like you left your tire somewhere. You need to go ear up in there, start wobbling. your cold sweat start to wash you home, and you're not well. And as soon as you get into the hospital, because you show up at the hospital, right? You check yourself in. You showed up at the hospital. You call 911 or so, and they showed up for you. Because you show up for yourself by dialing that number to say, hey, you know when you're not feeling well. You know when things is out of your control. And you dial that number. You weren't hard-headed. You dial that number and say, hey, I live alone, but I'm not feeling well. And you showed up. They show up for you. Boom. You go to the hospital. They can't even find your complaint that you were complaining about. Because what? Sometimes you just need a little break from your home because you could be in the home, you're there alone, and so many things going on at once. Your mind over here, your brain over there, everything does start flowing. It's like a floater, you know? You're floating. Your brain does play tricks on you sometimes. So it's and that's why it's good to have people to talk to all the time. You know what I mean? So show up for yourself. Look, I've seen a lot of times I come on YouTube, even when I'm not in my best. It's that time of the month where the month beat me bad. It beat that girl in bad. It's not afraid to whoop me. I used to tell my friends, I said, the only thing in life that whoop me so hard and I can never hit it back is the month. Yeah, because it hit me so hard to the point where you want to smack it somewhere, but you can't do it because it is invisible. So these are like the private things that can come into your life and play into your life. And you don't even know it just whooping you. Sometimes you stand up and you feel the back ache and you can't even whoop it because the pain that whoop you instead you whoop it. You know, but if you focus on the pain, you won't get out the pain. You know? So you gotta show up, man. Show up. You know? Show up. Let your people know, hey, today I'm not well. Hey, today I want to say something. I do what you gotta do. Just show up. You know, because I think one of the things we do with ourselves is tell ourselves that who gonna watch this? Who gonna? That's the first negative thing we put in our mind, and it's like setting up ourselves for failure. A lot of people set you up for failure. We set up ourselves for failure because before you post anything, let's tie it into YouTube. Before you post anything, you're gonna say, "Who gonna watch all that I'm have to say? Who gonna do this? Who gonna look at me? Nobody gonna look at you. Be surprised to know who's out there for you. You know what I mean? But if you selling yourself that you nobody ain't gonna care for you, nobody you setting your own self up for failure. But if you tell yourself, said, well, I'm going out there, and if I get people to support me, or if I get people to watch me, or whatever, that's a plus. We all start somewhere. You know what I mean? So, but show up, man. Don't worry about nothing. Just go on, man. And when you're showing up for for yourself, people show up for you. You might not see the multitude because you know plan your life out in terms of you don't have a scheduled life or anything. You just randomly pop up like me, the pop up queen. You just pop up. You know what I mean? You don't care. You just pop up. You know what I mean? But sooner or later, I gonna have to get my acts together if I want to elevate to the next level. So I'm saying. But the beautiful part of it is to show you guys that I showed up for myself, and people saw what I was doing and willing and was ready to support your queen and still is. You see what I'm saying? But if you don't show up, you talk about you want subscribe. You don't have to beg for subscriber. They will subscribe to you automatically. If you don't show up, you won't get no watch time. You announce like, hey, I'm at this journey where I'm almost at 3,000 watch hours, and you state it. Also, and then every day, if you show up every day or every other day, you're gonna show up. If you're gonna show up every other day, because then if you're not showing up every day, my best recommendation would to say schedule those lives that you're gonna go show up on, so that people can be aware that you there, because they know you're not consistent. So like me, people say, all right, she might come on 10 o'clock in the morning, she might come on 7 o'clock, she might come on 6 o'clock. People pattern things. You have a lot of people who deal with pattern. Yes, man, they work with the pattern of you, how you fluctuate up and down, roller coaster kind of vibes. Yes, man, you have people out there who literally can say, okay, if queen don't come on at 6, she gonna come on about 7ish, 9ish, and she might come on at 10 o'clock ish, and then she might come on 12 o'clock in the day, or she might come on, if she don't come on at 11, that she like to come on at 11. If she don't come on at 11, she might come on at 9 o'clock, at 10 o'clock, or so almost like 12, 1 o'clock. You know what I mean? So people follow patterns. And they say, okay, if Brazilian queen is cooking, she might come on maybe 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, depending within those time frame if she's cooking. So people follow the pattern of you. They might say, okay, if Brazilian queen is cleaning, she might come on about 10 o'clock in the morning or so to show us what she doing in cleaning our house. Or, you see what I'm saying? So even though you think people not watching you, or you say, who gonna watch this? You don't worry about who gonna watch this. What you need to do is show up for yourself, be confident in what you're doing. Mind you, you might not effective as you're supposed to or as you think you can, because you know you have more in your pipeline and you can do better. But go on the way you can until better come. Show up the way you can. And appreciate the people who showed up. The commenters, the likers, the sharers, the well wishers, the silent people, you know, the subscribers, the moderators that you're gonna have when they show up. Everybody ain't gonna show up at once. And you gotta bear that in mind. They might show up today and sometimes they just wanna chill in the background. You know what I mean? Because they might be busy. Some at work, like literally at work, and they say, "Hey, crazy queen, come on, I might have to watch her later." Or so, and they say, "All right, then let me just click back off." They might forget to like the live. You know what I mean? But when they get around to it, they will sure do it. They go back and watch a replay, and if it's something they're interested in, they say, "All right, let me just tap her up in quick and fast." You know, in Jamaica we are digital, so we say, "Let me tap you up." They will tap you up with the likes. You know what I mean? If people interested in what you're talking about. And then some people, because announce that some people have to technically announce to say, hey, remember to like up the live, and people remember to hit the button. Because sometimes people tune into you and they forget all these things. But we don't want to force nobody. Everybody is not the same way. You know what I mean? Everybody want to do their little things different. But still showing up for yourself will show result. You don't show up, you don't get a paycheck. You show up, the likelihood of you getting a paycheck is great. You might not get the big paycheck like you would have normally accustomed to because you might work part time or you might work for only maybe less than half a day. You see what I mean? So you get a half a day paycheck, but it's still better than not showing up for yourself. But you show up, you get results. You show up, you get reward. You see what I'm saying? Garrett M86G, greetings. How are you? Congratulations for being the top fan today. Congratulations. So show up, man. And whatever you all are working on, show up. Hope everybody's doing good today. We're talking about showing up for yourself. Showing up for yourself doesn't mean you have to have everything 5 star. Me, I have a phone with a rubber band over it. Showing up for myself. Yeah? I have a phone. If I take the rubber band off, I'm on the phone. And if I should turn it down like this, that screen gonna come down and you're gonna see a dark circle around the sides and a light in the middle. Just to show you it's moving off the board. That board that he used to keep it good so you can see everything. But we're still showing up. You say you're good. Yeah man, big up yourself. And thank big shout out to Garrett for the number 2 spot and up movement for the number 1 spot. Manners of our respect to everyone, man. But you gotta show up for you. God already, anything we tell ourselves, is what we gonna achieve. If you tell yourself when you're gonna post a video, who's gonna watch this? You're setting yourself up for failure. Remember, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. That's one thing you gotta understand. Everybody start rocky. I remember, I think I was watching the Beast and Mr. Beast, and he was saying his first video he was working at this shop. I think it was an ice cream shop or something. I don't remember if it was Mr. Beast or somebody's, but they up in the millions. And he was saying he was showing his first video that he started off with, and he was very young too. And he said when he started off, he said he didn't even care, he didn't even know what he was doing. He just take up the device and stuff. He didn't even know how to edit things yet and all these things. And he just take up the device and he said for months going on and on, he was just posting just the way he know how. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. I'm doing good. Now much I come back home and stuff, so we just here talking a little bit about showing up for yourself. From the other day, I was supposed to talk about this video, and when I hit the thing and try to set it for schedule to see how well I would have scheduled it and see how well people would have come in, it wouldn't set like that. So I had to go today is when I said let me go back and click on it and just go live with this video. But I want to say that you show up for yourself, be consistent. So if it's say 3 days a week you're gonna go live, those live I would encourage you to schedule. And I and take my foolish advice as well. Even if it's 7 days a week, you want to go live. Schedule those live. You understand? Because what I'm learning from myself is to not tell you what I did and you follow it, because one size does not fit all. But schedule those things if you can. Every now and then you can do a one pop up live just to see how things go when you do a pop up as opposed to a schedule. You can do that just to see that. You know what I mean? You say, do you know Squid Game? No, no, I don't know the Squid Game. But every now and then you can, if you want, you can do a random pop-up live, because something could be bothering you, and it's too much for you to bear, it's too much for you to handle, and because you don't want, with the stress and the agony and the pain that you have to go through, sometimes you might have to just hop on real quick. So do a pop-up live real quick. If something bother you and you live alone or something, don't sit there and drown in what's going on. Do a pop-up live real quick, okay? Oh, Jared, number one spot, I tell you. Hey, these stuff fun, they showing up and showing out. Hey, Shannon, how are you? Greetings, how are you? I'm telling you, greetings, Shannon. Good to see you. Good to see you. Great. And this, you see this lady here, guys, if you guys could go subscribe to her and everything, she's an amazing supporter. Very amazing supporter. So if you could go show up for her, that would be very good, guys. I would appreciate. Shannon, the top 3 fan. Congratulations. Shannon, congratulations. And just keep going, everybody. You know what I mean? Show up for yourself, man. So congratulations to all the top 3 spots. Yes, all the top 3 spots. But show up for yourself. Don't worry about when you post a video. If ever one person you see comment on your video also, you say thank you. So I'm saying you're thankful, because that's a start of a new chapter that you weren't hoping to see. You were worried, but now you no longer have to worry because you showed up. And the mere fact you show up and you see a person show up for you, even if they don't get to watch your video because they might at work and they see what you're doing and then just give you a like and gone. You gotta remember, that's a like you never have if you didn't show up. You see what I mean? You don't show up to your job, you don't get a paycheck. Treat YouTube just like that. All right? Yes, man. Blessings, Jared. Blessing. You know what I mean? Treat YouTube or any platform or anything you're gonna do out there, treat it like, if I don't show up, I don't get a paycheck. Once we keep telling ourselves, if I don't show up, I don't get a paycheck. Mind you, I would recommend you do things differently. You don't do things like you just say, oh, resilient queen, do it this way and it worked for her. It could work that way for resilient queen. Doesn't mean it work that way for you. But what you can do is say, all right then, I will make sure I schedule my live, but every now and then I will have a pop up live if you want a pop up live. Because as I said, something could be going on while you have to pop up. You could be at a place where you felt unsafe or anything, and you might have to do a quick pop up live real quick so that you can have your fans keep you going. And if anything, you have somebody on there where you could say, hey, you know me, in getting those numbers done, you have a code for you and that person. That means when they see you do certain things with your hand, they know that automatically. If you say this, they know what that means. If you ever have to use that in your life, they know. You know what I mean? Guys, say goodbye. God bless you. Thank you so much and congratulations for taking number 1 spot, Jerry. Congratulations. M86G. So bless up yourself. All right? But show up. You know what I mean? Showing up is gonna be your best mechanism right now in anything we're doing. You know what I mean? Showing up. And just tell yourself, you don't show up, you don't get a paycheck. You don't show up, you don't get no likes, you don't get no views, you don't get no subscriber, and you don't get no watch time, and you don't get nothing that you're working towards. You see what I'm saying? But when you show up, the likelihood of you getting maybe a few likes, some people commenting, a subscriber, you might, not all the time, but you might, and so forth, depending, you know what I mean? Because it's all about depending. But the greatest part, you show up, and you won't get everything that you so desire right there and then. You know what I mean? But you make fact you show up, others will show up for you. Yeah? It will. They will. You know? And sometimes people schedule their life in 2 to 3 days out the week. They maybe do their shorts, in their shorts, their live, or their videos, or so forth. And keep abreast of what's going on with them. You know what I mean? And then you have a lot of people for the days that they miss out, they make up through those days, you see? So show up, family. You know what I mean? I understand that. I said to myself, if I didn't show up for myself, everybody look at my content and they can tell that I might have great content talking about stuff, but is it how I frame things, the way I structure things, no what they call it, thumbnail or so, that can be a deterrent in channel how we go forward. But the greatest part, people will still showing up regardless. You know what I mean? And that's what I have to be grateful for 1,000 times. It's a 100%, but I'm saying 1,000 times I have to be grateful for that. Because even though I have the hiccups here and the hustle and the bustle here, I showed up. You know what I mean? I remember one person reached out to me once and said, when are you doing another cleaning video? You see what I'm saying? I see a lady reach out to me once when I was showing people how I stop buy cereal for my baby and use the regular rice cereal. I start to make feeding for that baby so no longer have to stress out, because it's stressed out when you don't have no money to buy stuff. But I showed up and I showed this is what I do, and I also explained that you can soak the cereal with milk overnight in the fridge and you can make it last 2 to 3 days. Eh? In the fridge. So it gets saggy because baby had to drink out the bottle when they start eat solid food. We're not talking before anything. When they start eat solid food, and when things start getting rough for you, you don't have to say your kids hungry no more. You get the healthier regular cereal or so forth and do what you gotta do. When you can buy the other one, you buy the other one and you're good to go. And do use the percentage milk. They say when a child is younger than 2 years old, they drink the whole milk. Go according to the percentage of milk that they recommend for the kids. You know what I mean? When they reach a certain age now, like when they start become 3 and 4 and upwards, now they start giving them the 1%. You know what I mean? So we just gotta know what we're doing and gotta know that, hey, this is this, and if it's a gap, you stop it. You're stopping hunger right there. You know what I mean? You're stopping yourself from being stressed out and don't know where nothing is coming from to provide for your children. Gone were the days. You say, oh no, look at these boys. Anybody seen them? And they don't look less than like they're suffering. No, because I find ways to not stress myself out when it come on to feeding them. You know what I mean? I get the regular healthy cereal that was recommended for them and stuff like that, and make meals out of it for them. You know, that's how I show up for my children. You know what I mean? And you'll be surprised, because I used to be so stressed out. Where is feeder coming from? So showing up for yourself, I'm just saying that you have to find means and ways to show up for yourself. People out here now working for watch time, just show up for yourself. You know what I mean? Even though you say yes, people have to watch a playlist and everything, but even if they watch a video and they want to watch another one, they will watch it. Because sometimes you put the playlist on playlist to play, and sometimes if you go away from the device that you have it set on for a little while, it pause the playlist. And when it pause the playlist, let's say you might not be here in the house or anything, you're running errands, or so you're not there to hit that yes button to say, because they ask you, are you still watching this video, and you're not out there to hit that yes button. You know what happened? That person not getting that watch hour, even though you say you're playing the playlist because you left it on gone, but it's still asking you after a while. It stop. We said, what's your favorite YouTuber? My favorite YouTuber? Oh, I got a lot of YouTuber that I watch and support. Up in the top, in the middle, and the bottom. So I don't got a favorite YouTuber. I just like to watch a bunch of YouTubers. Because I like to watch the funny YouTubers. I like to watch the hilarious YouTubers. I love to watch the ones who are educational, uplifting, showing you how to go about the YouTube algorithm and how to be consistent, how to be showing up for yourself and all these things. So, I have a mixture of YouTubers that I watch for different things that I want to apply to my everyday life. You know what I mean? So that's how it. If I want some laughter, so I probably go on some reactor channel and laugh, and I read all the comments. Yes, I'm a big comment fan. I will sit and read the comments. I don't know if anybody's like me, but I'm a person like this. I will literally go on your channel. And if you have a lot of comments, you best believe I'm sitting there while I'm watching your video. But I'm sitting there scrolling and reading the comments. And the ones that are hilarious make my day because I bust out laughing because I'm like, oh my God, how did human being come up with such thought to think that? I wasn't even thinking that. You know what I mean? You say you do that too. Yes, man. And it's so hilarious. It is so hilarious. It is so priceless. It make you laugh sometimes because just to hear people comment in the comment section, especially on a reactor video, also on what they're saying about somebody, and not the ones that bashing people, the ones that are hilarious in their comments. I'm talking those ones. I'm not talking the comments with tearing on somebody, but just to, what you laugh at it to say, wow, I would never think of that. I would never thought of that. You see what I'm saying? Those are the comments that he just mind buggy. He just mind blow. Like one night somebody come on here and said you were a jungle bunny. And it just mind blowing because I wouldn't even thought of that. You thought of a lion in the jungle, but somebody called me a jungle bunny. I couldn't stop laughing. CBV say, hey, stopping by to show love, heading to meeting. Bless up yourself, CBV, and thank you so much for passing through. All right, have a good day at your meeting. Thank you so much. You see what I'm saying? So bless up yourself, CBV. But I wouldn't even thought of that, but I bust out laughing. So you gotta know what work for you, what you love. Oh, CBV, congratulations, the top 3 fan. All right, the top 3 fans are running the place. So it's just hilarious, man. I'm telling you. I be laughing sometimes so hard, and I'm like, what? What? Where do all these people get these thoughts from? You know what I mean? I wouldn't even think of those things. But I'm telling you, man, hey, the wit of our mouth. We all have a witty mouth, you know what I mean? Manners of our respect is CBV, thank you. We all have a witty mouth, man. Just go into somebody's comment section and listen to some of these commenters that comments. I'm telling you, they're about witty. I remember one day I said to myself, he said, I like your YouTube channel. Oh, thank you so much. It's a mixture of everything though. So take your time to go through and see what you like from it. Take what you like, what you don't like. Just like, pass. You know what I mean? But I'm telling you, it's witty. Hey, commenters are the best, man. If we should go around and have a commenter channel to just react to comments, like go to different people channel all over the place and just collect comments from them and laugh out of those comments, listen to me, man. I'm telling you, people will be laughing, crying. You're welcome. God bless you. Thank you so much. I'm still in the lead for the top spot position. I'm telling you, man. But we support all YouTubers, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You might not, as I said, you might not want to be a part of what they're talking about to tear anybody down, but you just go there just to have fun. Because somebody gonna come out with their wit, somebody with their witty mouth. Gonna give you a nice piece of show, especially if you read the comment. And I read all comment when I go on people's channel. Oh yes, I spend time and read. And I say, oh my God, who come up with this? You know what I mean? But it goes to show that when you're talking about something, and even if it's not resonating with you at the time, but when you're talking, somebody understand what you're saying in that moment. You'll be surprised to know the thoughts that are coming to people's head. And if you don't jot it down on piece of paper, like what the commenters will do, if they don't jot it down there, they lose that chain of thought because this was for only that moment. He said, what's your favorite song? My favorite song is God is Not Done With Me Yet. He just getting started. And it's actually by a YouTuber too. Lima Lam. He have a song, God is Not Done With Me Yet. He just getting started and I'm all here for it. So yes, that's my favorite song. And my next favorite song is by Vice Cartel, the one who said, God is the greatest. Yes, man. I have a bunch of songs though, a lot. But I mean, of recently, what I used to help keep me going and propel me to the next level in terms of strength. You know what I mean? Yes, man. We have it all out here. But you know what I mean? And we learn from each other. You know what I mean? We learn from each other. We have a lot of songs, you know. But showing up for yourself is very important. We only have 6 more minutes and then we're going to hop off of here. You understand? And when I hop off of here, I'll go into the back of somebody else who's live and just sit there if I want to chill and hang out in the public space. Let them know I'm here. I hang out there. If I don't want to, I just sit in the back, like up the video. Sometimes I send a bunch of hearts up or a bunch of hundred if you're talking about something and you know what I mean, I'm seeing what you're saying and I just send you a bunch of hundreds or a couple of hearts back to back like oof. Yes, man. So you know I'm there. You know what I mean? You might not know it's me because you can't tell it could be anybody sending you hearts. You know what I'm saying? But you send a bunch. You know, so yes, man. But showing up for yourself is important, family. You know what I mean? Show up with your phone that you can show up with, even if it is raggedy. Show up because if you don't show up, you don't have a paycheck. Everybody working and say, oh, we want better content or you want better this, but only way better to come is to keep showing up. If for 2 days a week you're gonna show up, I would recommend schedule those 2 days you're gonna show up. If for 3 days you're gonna show up, schedule when you're gonna go show up for those 3 days. And in between, as I said, we all struggle with something. Sometimes do a random pop-up VM live if you have to. Sometimes you may at a place that you don't think you're safe or anything, and you got your phone with you or something. You might have to turn that phone on in real time if you think you're out there and you're at some places where you don't think you're safe. Show up. You know what I mean? Show up that way. You know? And so people can be paying attention and watch what's going. You know how many people I watch where they say, hey, I'm gonna go on this long road trip or this long journey to here where they're transporting from one state to the other. Those people, I stay with them till they reach where they're going. I just put them in the background, walk around, do what I gotta do, turn the volume up just in case if you hear any little sound, so you can pay attention. If you have to screenshot something, you can screenshot it just in case. You know what I mean? So you help out a sister, you help out a brother. You know what I mean? So sometimes you're gonna have to do pop-up live because you could be at a place where you think your life is in danger or anything. And you didn't mind you go there peacefully, you didn't know what's gonna happen. And if you have your device and you're thinking at that time, because sometimes you're not thinking. You know, goodbye, have a blessed day. Thank you so much. You have a great day. All right, top fan walk out. Yeah man, Jared. Thank you, M86G. Blessing you, have a blessed day, and thank you for being the number one fan for today. Big shout out to everyone who captured the number one spot, the number two spot, and the top three spots. So we have all that today. So big shout out to all of you. We have 4 minutes to go. All right, family. So show up and show out for yourself. Go on what the days you're worried about if you post something, who is going to look at it or anything. Don't set yourself up for failure that way. Speak good out there. You know what? I'm gonna post my video and then I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing and let it marinate out there. You gotta marinate a little. Sometimes it takes years for it to go up, blow up, but as long as it's out there, it will be out there marinating. Some people when we season meat, don't we when we season up our meat, we don't cook it right away, right? But when we cook it, when we marinate it, let it marinate and simmer in all the ingredients that we put in there. When you cook that chicken or that fish or whatever you cook, when you're ready to walk through all that bone, if you're a bone person like me, I'm not a dog, but I'm just saying, you say, Mamma mia, voila, eh? Everything, well, nice. All right, so show up for yourself, man. Don't worry yourself, just show up. You know what I mean? But I would not tell you that you must always do random live like me. I wouldn't recommend that method. Show up by scheduling your live and stuff. If you and I said to each its own, but if you have to and if you're in distress or you feel burdened down and stressed out and you're just looking for somebody to talk to also. Dream girl, how are you? Good evening. Good morning. Is it morning by you or so? How you doing? Greetings. Welcome. So if you're not feeling well or so, do a little pop-up live and you can title your live. Like me, my phone get trouble all the time. So every now and then when I get a chance to title my videos, I have to title. But sooner or later, I'm gonna have to go through. Good evening, dream girl. Malata, dream girl, greetings. Good afternoon. How you doing over there? Greetings. You know what I mean? So just bear in mind when you think of stuff. If you're going to do a pop-up, say, all right, then are you at a function and your storage run out? If you're at a function and your storage run out for record videos or so, at this point, if you're allowed to record and so, then you probably can do a quick pop-up live to just showcase what you're doing so that if you want to keep it as your record, record keeping, you know what I mean? And because then that everywhere you go, you technically want to do live to show your live location at all time. And you could still be out there and show where you are, but you don't have to show the area around you or so. You know what I mean? So to each its own, but show up for yourself. You know what I mean? And I will encourage anybody, because I know a lot of people are dealing with stress, a lot of people are dealing with all kind of stuff. You know, if you're out there, you're out there, you have a YouTube platform and you have over 50 subscribers and you can go live and you're not feeling well, also type your video how you're feeling. You know, you can say, I'm not feeling well today, or who what do you do when you're not feeling well? Because that's a question, and sometimes people will step in to understand what you're saying. What do you do when you're not feeling well? And you'll be surprised to know people giving you advice to say they either go to the movie, they buy some ice cream, or they just chill, they go into the bathtub, they call a friend, they seek a therapy, they probably dial 911 because they're in distress and everything is getting unbearable, or they call the hotline. You know what I mean? Some people will help you. So those are things I would say. Do a pop-up live if you have to. If you're in any distress, a pop-up live would be a great one, because you're in distress at that time, and sometimes your head about to explode. You don't know where to turn. You don't know where to look. But you come on here and you say, what do you do when you feel overwhelmed and stressed out? Please, I need some advice. You'll be surprised to know people will come to your rescue. You know what I mean? You'll be surprised people will come to help you by giving you little tips and tricks and what they did to help themselves. Doesn't mean it will fit your need, but it's something you ask for, and people just sharing from their experience what they have noticed that works with them when they felt like giving up. You see what I'm saying? So we're not gonna stay any longer, family. I want to say a big shout out to all the top fans today, and it was a nice little competition for the top fan position today. And we want to say bless up to everyone. So Jared in the top fans position for today, and Simi V in the third position for today. Big shout out to Simi V there. And Shannon was in the top third position for today, and Simi V come and take it over. So big shout out to Shannon right there. And movement was in the number one spot, and somebody just come and say snatch the top one spot. That's how we say competition out here. You know what I mean? In a good way. You know what I mean? Nice and peaceful. Movement was in second because Empress Jean was in first, but Empress Jean jump out the race and movement take it. And until then, we say, people, have a blessed day. Show up for yourself and show out for yourself, and you will see real results. You stay in the back, not going to work, not doing nothing, and you won't get no bills paid, all right? And I guarantee your account will be going down. Take it from somebody with experience, all right? Peace out.